Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPG Games YouTube channel. My name is Ralph. This is still the life and suffering of Sir Randolph Brante. In the previous episode we had a little bit of a tough conversation with our brother Stephan, who keeps pointing out the commoner lot to our sister. So even my dad told him like, hey dude, that's not cool, you know. And I backed my dad on this, so Stephan probably not gonna be very friendly for the coming time, but hey, I made a choice to stand by my sister, and hopefully I can continue to do that during this story, but who knows. In any case, it looks like I have a new case, a land dispute. It's the morning of a very sultry day and I'm back in the office, beginning to get used to the duties of my new profession. Father visits you on the job now and then to see your progress and provide advice, but by now he's confident you can handle the work on your own. Today is your first case, assigned by the Prefect himself. From the comfort of your chair, you go through the facts and circumstances of the case. The matter seems simple at first. Seeking some desperately needed financial gain, a noble from a less than wealthy Alavilla family rented out a sizable portion of his estate to a well-off commoner by the name of Basil Young. All the rent payments are in order. There is plenty of time left before the lease is set to expire. But the commoner built a large dye works on the estate, and then Alavilla suddenly filed a case with the prefecture to evict him. The rental agreement specifically states that the commoner Young has the right to construct any building on the land. The noble landowner, however, thinks that final say on any construction since the land belongs to him. Basil Young, on the other hand, has refused to vacate the rented land since the term of the agreement has not expired. Oh boy. Both parties are to appear at the prefecture to hear your decision. The litigant, Sir Alavilla, enters first. He's an aging noble who dresses far too colorfully for his years. Hey, if the old geezer wants to wear hippie clothing, go for it, man. What's up with that? Like, let him dress whatever he feels like. He walks into your office with confidence and sits in front of you. Yeah, he's thinking that I'm gonna do him a solid, but he might be disappointed. The next man to enter is Basil Young, heavy-set man with a thick beard, clothed in an old jacket and clutching a hat. He stands by your desk and bows to you. Sir Alavilla does not hesitate to speak first. Your Honor, I demand you drive the commoner Young from my land. His dye works is a noisy, nasty, ugly building and I refuse to have it on my property. My family already had to endure their warehouses and their filthy workers right by our own estate. This is simply beyond the pale. Either the court says the dye works must be demolished or I, Gustav Alavilla, will do it myself. You ask Sir Alavilla to compose himself and tell the commoner to give his statement. Basil Young gives his account, speaking in deep gruff bass. Your Honor, it cost me all my money to build the dye works. The contract says it clear. I got the right to build anything on the land during my rental period. Sir Alavilla didn't say a word at first, but now he up and demands we demolish it. My family will be ruined. Not gonna happen, I say. Sir Alavilla screams at him in return, outraged by what he calls his cunning trickery. The bearded Basil Young disagrees again and again, his pudgy finger pointing at the clause in the agreement. It's noon already, the sun is so hot even the air itself seems to melt away. This is your first case ever, it's time to deliver your verdict. Oh, here we go, here we go! First case in the books! If we protect Young's rights, oh, we even have an impact on Magra, on the province now. So, order will go down, the wealth of Magra will go up, justice will go up, and my career goes down. Man, I don't want to become a pariah as a judge. If we comply with Alavilla's demands, the wealth of Magra goes down, the order goes up, the career goes up, and justice goes down. And if we terminate the rental agreement, I propose a law that would grant noble landowners the right to terminate their rental agreements in court at any time. Yeah, that seems not okay, to be honest. It gives my family more reputation. I kinda have to follow the law as a judge. So that would mean I have to protect Young's rights. If the contract is clearly stipulated, then that's it. Asking Young for a bribe. Why can I not do this one? Ah, because my manipulation is not good enough. Okay, if my manipulation were more than 10, I could have used this one, but unfortunately, I'm all judge skills. I can't possibly do this. I mean, it would be good for my career, but it would not be good for, well, for everything else. Actually, it would be good for my family too. Man, this is a tough one. I have to side with Young here. Contract is a contract. Sorry, noble buddies. My career is going to 2 now. That does suck. I need to get my career in order, but yeah, I cannot do anything else with this. You deliver your verdict. As the rental agreement clearly states, Basil Young has the right to use the aforementioned lands belonging to El Avila family until the year 1150 and construct any buildings on the aforementioned lands. Basil Young's use of the land is not in violation of the agreement and therefore he must not be evicted. And the dye works will remain. Any attempt to drive him off or demolish the building will constitute a breach of law. How dare you! This is my own land, and I can do whatever I want with it. It's my right. I can rent it out and I can take it back just the same. And your puny little papers mean nothing to me. If you refuse to resolve this peacefully, Your Honor, why, I'll just put the damn dye works to the torch. You have a response to that? If Young's property should come to harm through El Avila's actions, the nobleman will provide recompense for all damages and pay a fine to the Emperor. The law of the Empire is the Emperor's rule. Nobles and commoners alike must obey the law in equal measure. Your words are tactful but unyielding. The nobleman has no chance. His face pale with rage, Sir El Avila spits out a goodbye through clenched teeth and walks away. Thank you so much for your just verdict, Sir Brante. Never even hoped you would protect my rights after all. Now the dye works is gonna hit it big. The other judges soon learn of your verdict. Your very first case, you have caused quite a stir at the prefecture. Most judges would not have even deigned to hear the commoner's statement. Yet you defied noble privilege and enforced a lawful agreement against the nobleman. An ill omen for the other nobles. Oh boy. So the wealth of Magra is affluent now, so that is good. I mean, that's positive. Order is going down. We do need to... Actually, I'm wondering why order is going down, because level 10 is Triumph of the Law. That's exactly what happened here. The law is the law is the law, and I obeyed the law, so it should not be going down in my opinion. My career is already down the drain. Great. The fight for justice is going well. That's nice, but yeah, I need to salvage my career as well a little bit here. So the issue is there is no common ground between these two. Like any decision I'm gonna make is either going to be a plus in justice and a minus in career, or the other way around. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. My career at less than 2, or at 2 or less. CHUTES and letters. News of your latest actions spread rapidly across Anizadi. You've made many enemies during your years as a judge, and now is their chance to strike. Your career is hanging by a thread. You have to fight off accusations, denouncements, and slander just to retain your position. Quiet knock at the door interrupts your musings. The imposing figure of Judge Carlo Fockegraben solemnly floats into your into my office. It's the pimp judge, everyone. Let's see if we get a picture. Ah, we don't. We hardly ever see each other these days, Brante. I've decided to pay you a visit. With the most cordial of intentions, of course. Been hearing everywhere that things are not going well for you, so I asked myself the question, how could a man of your talents quarrel with almost all of Anizati high society? Sure, you're simply misguided, but worry not, I will show you the way. Many judges see you as a threat. They think that your daring ruling is putting the entire prefecture in danger. Let's examine your latest case, for instance. Its outcome enraged all the nobility of the city. But I know you aren't what they say you are. The others need to see how much you care for your colleagues and our institution. Take my advice, Randolph. Don't forget that it is a judge's job to maintain law and order among the estates, not destroy it. Admit your error, reconsider at least some of your past decisions in favor of the nobility. Do this and I assure you society will come to see you as a respectable nobleman and a wise judge once again. Do not emulate our prefect. You know that I hold El Borne in the highest esteem, but between you and me he's on the edge of the precipice. He's dragging you down with him. Promise me you'll think about what I've said, Brante. I'm only concerned about your well-being, and I care about the career of a promising judge like you. Fuckagraben takes a bow and leaves silently as he came. You reread your latest cases, lost in thought. This is what has turned high society against you. Your enemy's schemes are preventing you from continuing your work. You need to find a way out of this situation. Oh man. So I could ask my father for help. This gives career +2. Okay, that's great because it doesn't change my justice stat. The family reputation goes down, okay. Diplomacy goes up and I lose 5 willpower. That is fine. I'm okay with asking my dad for help here. Annulling my decisions, yeah, that takes justice down by 3. That's not gonna happen. Continuing the fight gives valor +1. I don't need valor right now. I mean, it's at 19 or it's at 20. I mean, I don't need that, and I don't need my career to go down even more. And let's see, I don't have the patronage of the powerful, so I cannot ask a powerful benefactor. So how about I ask my dad? What's up, Dad? Help me out here. You walk swiftly to your father's office. No matter what happens, he will always come to your aid. Conversation begins awkwardly. You tell him about your latest rulings, the enemies you have made, and the pressure from Fuckagraben and those like him. Will he help you out of your difficulty? Having carefully listened to your account, father frowns. You're in dire straits indeed. You know that I will always be on your side, but now you've gone too far. It's my fault too, Randolph. It's time we got you out of this mess. Your family has still managed to build a reputation over the past few years. I'll arrange meetings with some important noblemen and plead your case. Like predatory beasts, they will smell our vulnerability. As soon as you ask for a favor, you become not only a debtor, also a prospective victim. We have no choice, otherwise you will lose your position as a judge. Promise me, son, that from now on you will be more cautious and refrain from making more enemies for our family. You assure father that you will do your utmost, then you awkwardly thank him for his help. He pats you on the shoulder in response, picks up his quill pen, letters, entreaties, and humiliating visits await him. Ooh, man. We go to tarnished honor. Yeah, we need to get our reputation up as well. There are so many factors that you need to keep in mind. I mean, this is really well done storytelling. Like, you try to up one stat and it takes down another. It's really well done. Like, kudos to whoever wrote the story. The year is 1139. The Archduke and the Overseer. 2 powerful lords have been struggling for power in Magra for over 2 years now. The new overseer of the province, Gaius Tempest, cannot seem to rein in the obstinate spirit of Archduke Tarquinius Milanidas. Unwilling to accept that he is no longer the overseer of Magra, the Archduke still stubbornly continues to assert his right to rule the province. Most of the Magran gentry who swore allegiance to him generations ago remain loyal to him even now. Gaius Tempest has publicly demanded that the Archduke recognize the Overseer's rule as legitimate. I am the voice and the will of Emperor Uther II in the province of Magra. All lands, deeds, and titles notwithstanding, Archduke Milanidas must obey his sovereign's will and heed his decree. I hereby extend to the Archduke an offer of peace. Should the Archduke cease his insubordination, his lands, deeds, and titles shall remain his own. Ooh, wow. Threatening to take the title? That is harsh. The Archduke's response to the overseer was openly defiant. Since the days of yore, the land of Magra has belonged to the Milanidas dynasty. We are part of the empire and we are the emperor's loyal servants. However, our dynasty will not stand for such intrusion upon our lawful rights and privileges. Never before has an archduke been stripped of his right to represent the emperor's rule in his own province. So do not forget, Sir Overseer, that the highest noble families of Magra have sworn fealty to me alone. Neither the Archduke nor the Overseer will relent, but both are too powerful to be readily disposed of. Bad blood between the two Archnians has festered for too long, and the common people have begun to pay the price for their strife. Stripped of the Overseer's tax privileges, the Archduke Milanidas has decided to impose his own levy upon the citizens and villagers of Magra. The commoners are now forced to pay taxes twice, first to the Overseer, and then to the Archduke. The double burden is too much for the common people of Magra to bear. Many have refused the second tax outright as a lawless measure, but the Imperial Legion led by young Dorius Otton is ruthless. Eagerly and without mercy, the Legion soldiers collect the Archduke's due in cities and villages alike. Oh man. So that includes Thomas, I guess. Thomas is part of the Imperial Legion, right? He's under Dorius Otton's command, so he's collecting taxes now? Ho ho. Down goes the wealth of Magra. Hey, I just tried to get it up. Like, what's up with that, Dorius Otton? The last year has been an ordeal for the family. The pains taken to be ennobled by the sword, the close attention of the city aristocracy, the squabbles between Stephan and Gloria. Tonight, your preoccupied father has gathered the entire family around the table in the backyard. The sun is almost set and there is a soft breeze, but instead of a meal in the open air, you're going to attend the family meeting. In the middle of the table, you see an open gilded box. It's full of jewels. Archduke Milanidas himself has bestowed this gift upon us. Of course, he's trying to gain favor with all the nobles. It's a surprise indeed. I thought you all had a right to know. Father unfolds a letter lying beside the box. Sir Robert Brante, I bestow this precious box upon you and your family as a symbol of the care with which I treat the people of my province. Pray accept this gift. Remember with whom the royalty of the true nobles of Magra lies. Archduke of Magra, Tarquinius of the Milanidas. The family stares in amazement at the jewels sparkling in the last rays of sunshine. It's worth quite a fortune. The Archduke is fully aware that I am on the side of Prefect El Borne and Overseer Gaius Tempest. Do you really expect our loyalty to be bought so brazenly? On the other hand, the Archduke is not demanding anything of us, and our family has borne a lot of expenses recently. Father, no one is forcing you to side with Milanidas, says Stephan. Who are we in comparison to the Archduke anyway? We must not anger him by refusing this gift. The jewels are certainly welcome. They are worthy of being shared with the best families of Anizzati. They will pave our way to the nobility of a sword. Mother shakes her head glumly. Oh, Robert, I have a feeling this gift bodes ill. Maybe an impertinence on my part, but I don't want our family to be indebted to the Archduke. Certainly not. Accepting gifts from Milanidas? He's infamous for oppressing the commoners and robbing villages blind with his taxes. This isn't your decision, Gloria. It's a matter of our family's honor and reputation. Please don't start bickering again. Let Randolph say what he thinks we should do with this gift. Yeah, let me decide. You're in the center of attention now. Your vote will be the deciding factor. Great. Doesn't Nathan get a vote? Sell the jewels? Oh, that's funny. Well, +2, yeah. So we could decline the gift, which increases the unity of the family. It gives us willpower and valor, and the relationship with the Archduke goes to -1. Or we can give the jewels to prominent nobles as gifts, which increases our family reputation, scheming, and diplomacy. Yeah, I mean, there's... like, what else are we gonna do with it? I mean, this makes the most sense. There is no negative penalties whatsoever, so... You agree with Stephan, a gift from the Archduke is not to be refused. It would be better to use it for a more important goal, obtaining the nobility of a sword. You and Stephan will determine when, how, and to whom the gifts will be given. I'm inclined towards the same solution. Let it be so. I'll send a note to the Archduke expressing our humblest gratitude, but I'll point out that I don't mean to change sides. I still serve my prefect and my overseer. Be careful, father, the Milanidas house is not to be trifled with, but the Archduke will have nothing to reproach you with. Randolph and I will put the jewels to good use. You and Stephan spent the next couple of weeks arranging meetings and attending receptions and feasts. You discover that you are on par with your brother in your understanding of the nobility of Anizati, including their relationships and their quirks. The generous gifts and the refined manners your brother and you display before the aristocrats allows your family to rise in their esteem. There is but one disadvantage: you do not have a single coin tucked away in the family treasury. Yeah, well, you know. At least we got rid of our tarnished honor. I mean, that was a big part of the decision as well. I'm a masterful diplomat now, that's great. Still an inexperienced schemer, but that's okay. The power of the law, that sounds ominous. You've just completed your first year of service at the prefecture. Several days after your second year begins, there is a knock at the door. You look up from your paperwork and tell the visitor to come in. Sir El Borne's secretary slips inside quietly. The prefect has an important matter to discuss with you in his office. Augustin El Borne looks weary and aged, but he greets you with his usual characteristic warmth. You take a seat in the comfortable chair across from him. Sir El Borne asks his secretary to pour you and him some wine. Sir Brante, good to see you. I hope the judge's trade is coming easily to you now. I must admit, I've been watching your first cases closely. You've already had to resolve a rather difficult land dispute between a commoner and a noble. We will see even more litigation of this kind in our province in the future. Now it's time for you to answer an important question in the great dispute between the two estates. Where will you stand as a judge? Take a look around you. Life in the Empire, as we know, is changing. It's our duty as nobles and judges to make peace between all the estates on the basis of the law. However, the prefecture faces great hindrance in its pursuit of this goal. Many nobles are still determined to abide only by the traditions of old, especially the Arknians. For those nobles, the only law above them is the court of honor, where noble ranks and duels decide everything. They reject the jurisdiction of the prefecture and outright defy the newer laws and regulations of the Empire. This is to say nothing of what happens when an Arknian has a dispute with a human commoner. Some Arknians would rather cut a human down then and there, than waste time on what they see as pointless litigation. Even though the law says that all the Emperor's subjects have the right to a fair and just trial. One of the most flagrant violators of the law is Dorius Otton, the commander of our province's military. You've encountered him before, haven't you? That Arknian nobleman is a notorious duelist. Anyone who crosses his path risks insulting his honor. His sword has ended the lives of many human nobles. Not to mention all the commoners who have been unlucky enough to run afoul of him when he was bored. Good thing I'm battle-hardened. I can fight if need be, if he invites me, between brackets, to a duel. I just need to make sure that I have plenty of willpower, because probably the decision to win that duel is gonna cost me a whole bunch of willpower, so I need to make sure that my willpower stays at a decent level. It's 15 right now, so I should be good. Surely you realize, Brante, Sir Brante, alright, that we are the only ones who can protect those people. The low-born lot forbids a commoner to arm himself, and even those who would rather defy their lot have no chance against Dorius Otton, one of the most skilled Arknian swordmasters. Otton cannot be allowed to commit murder with impunity. We have to stop him and all the others who act as he does. Imperial law must prevail over their barbarous traditions. But as of now, I have no authority to put Otton on trial. Our province still abides by the old traditions, and humans are powerless against the dynastic power of the Arknian aristocracy. Putting an Arknian on trial for his crime would be unthinkable at best. We have to work gradually to change this, Brante, and I need you as an ally. Oh man. What we have to do is strengthen the power of Imperial law in Magra, so that eventually everyone will respect the law, from humble beggars to highborn Arknians. We must show everyone that the law is not a noble instrument of oppression against the common folk. Like the divine law, Imperial law must stand above all, with no regard for birth, rank, or title. This is why I've decided to address you today, Randolph Brante. Side with the law, side with your father and myself, side with justice in every case, always, no matter who stands trial before you, be they lowly commoner or noble elite. With enough precedents, we will put an end to highborn tyranny and ensure that the law is respected throughout the province. Yeah, it also ensures my career down the drain. But I must warn you, even here at the prefecture I'm not all-powerful. Many judges oppose my point of view, not openly, at least not yet. But I'm certain they will work against us in the shadows. Now, Brante, what is your answer? Are you ready to side with me? Change our province for the better? Are you prepared to support me against the high-handed gentry and defend the common folk from the likes of Dorius Otton? Whoop-de-doop-de. This is just relations. So if I side with him, I unlock the promise. I gain +2 with El Borne. If I reject it, I gain 5 willpower. I don't really need willpower right now, but look, the thing is, I want to serve the province. Alright, I want to serve the law. That's my job as a judge. So in that instance, I do think that everyone needs to be treated equally. Plus, you know, I've been even in the family taking the side of my sister, who is a commoner. So yeah, let's side with El Borne. Let's see what happens. It's probably gonna bite me in the ass. You're not energetically determined to support El Borne and bring nobles and Arknians under the rule of Imperial law. You realize the risks, but for the future of the Empire and its subjects, you are willing to face them. You seal the promise with a handshake. The prefect leans back in his big chair and points at the glasses full of wine. Never doubted you, Brante. With your potential and youthful zeal, nothing will stop us. Now a toast to the triumph of law in Magra. Your glasses clink melodically. The prefect takes a sip and puts the glass down to instruct you further. Remember to be cautious. Between the powerful nobles and many other judges at the prefecture, there will be no shortage of enemies in this path. There will be times when I'll be unable to help you and my position is too unstable as it is. So please do not draw too much of their ire. Letting their wrath reach you is the last thing I want. And last but not least, we mustn't be hasty. If we move too fast and enforce the law against the nobles too soon, they might take up their swords as they have before. We have to prevent an uprising and avert bloodshed. At all times, be just, but also be wise and alert. I'm glad to see you on the side of justice. I'm counting on you, and you can count on me in return, Randolph Brante. May luck be with you in service of the Empire. You return to your office, your desk covered with endless paperwork as always. At first glance, nothing has changed, but now you realize the great and important cause working quietly behind your daily grind. Deep in thought, you sit at the desk once again. What fate awaits you in service of this cause? Well, probably a duel with Dorius Otton, I'm guessing. Night is falling over Anizati. The stifling heat gives way to an eagerly anticipated freshness. After a day at work, you stroll home at a leisurely pace. You turn down a side street that you have known since you were a little boy. It's as if your legs are acting on their own accord, bringing you the place of your childhood play, the remnants of the wooden fort. So much has changed since the days when you used to play here with your little friends. Engrossed in your memories at first, you fail to notice that you're not alone here. A tall figure in the uniform of a Legion officer approaches you. You see unruly brown hair and a twinkle in his eye. It's Thomas. That's a surprise. Hey, Brante. Fancy running into you the moment I'm back in town. Your childhood friend puts his arm around you. Our battalion got transferred here recently. We're under the command of the Magra Legion now. Keeping the peace, maintaining order in my very own province. And collecting taxes, I guess. Why don't we catch up? Let me buy you dinner. We'll have a little chat, remember the old days. Thomas cuts himself short. You suddenly notice how much older he looks. His face has become sharper and rougher, and his eyes are filled with exhaustion rather than their usual mischievous sparkle. I should warn you though, Randolph, I ain't the best company nowadays. Managed to get myself some powerful enemies already. I'm a friend who could taint your good name. If you'd rather not be seen with me, I understand. The smile on his face starts to fade. Ooh, I can't even walk away. Look at that. So because I have the bound by friendship, I guess. Oh no, is it? Yeah, I guess, because I have the bound by friendship that I cannot walk away. Family reputation goes down if I have this chat with him. I do get 10 willpower though, so, well, I mean, it's the only option I got, so, well, there we go. You give Thomas your hand. Your hand shakes firmly. You haven't forgotten your old friend, Brante. It's the way it ought to be. Well, come on then. You go to a tavern reminiscing about your childhood antics on these very streets along the way. You choose a table in the far corner of the tavern. Thomas orders a bottle of good wine and some food. You talk about your latest case, about your first years back in Anizotti. You share family news, your quest to become nobles of the sword, the quarrels between your elder brother and sister, your mother's health. Thomas nods with concern. Sounds like you have had some tough times. Your family's always been different. Mine, on the other hand, is the same as it ever was. My pa's always in his workshop, my ma's always doing chores. Chores, Ralph, chores. But look at me, I came home a service-class nobleman, although it doesn't bring me much joy anymore. Thomas is suddenly grim. You ask your old friend to share his troubles with you. He quickly glances around the room and lowers his voice. Well, I'm a captain in the Magran Legion now. Who's our commander? His Excellency Dorius Otten, that's right. Serve under the very same Archnean whose toes I stepped on back in Eterna. You better believe he remembers me. I'm afraid things are gonna end real bad. But hey, I'll figure it out somehow. Don't trouble yourself over it. Apart from that, well, it's the usual service. We impose order in uppity towns and villages, protect the province, that sort of thing. And we run drills all day long, obviously. If only you knew how sick I am of them barracks, Randolph. Thought about starting a family. My mom keeps telling me, find a nice girl to marry. She says it's high time I got hitched. It's completely dark and you're still talking. Finally, Thomas remembers that his parents are waiting for him. You get up from the table, leaving some dirty dishes and quite a few empty bottles behind. On your way out, you catch a glimpse of a nondescript figure following you to the door. As you walk alongside Thomas through your home neighborhood, you keep glancing over your shoulder, but the shadow that has followed you has disappeared. You reach your street and stop for a while in the semi-darkness between your family homes, just as you used to all those years ago. Bye, Brante. I hardly ever come to Anizotti these days. Our battalion is always on the march all over the province, but twins willing, we'll see each other again real soon. You advise your friend to safeguard his every life. Well, there goes our family reputation again, damn it. Your first year at the prefecture has come to an end. You are not a young student anymore. You know now that a magistrate means so much more than knowing the law and carrying it out. Resolving a litigation of any importance requires striking a balance between the code of laws, high society's opinion, and the whims of the provincial powers that be. Your second year is beginning and it feels much tougher already. Trampled by the nobles, the governors seek help. And so they turn to the law, they turn to you. A carriage takes you through the Silver District of Anizotti. It's early morning and you've just received a letter bearing the seal of the City Hall. Remy El Borne, the magistrate of Magra himself, wishes to see you at once. The mere sight of the magistrate's invitation is enough to make you scowl. There's no doubt about your newest case regarding the Quorum Gazette, which may spell trouble for everyone involved. A provincial legislature, the Lesser Quorum, governs the volume and distribution of taxes in Magra. After a new law created by the Emperor's own brother Cornelius Tempus several years ago, commoners of considerable wealth were granted representation in the Quorum on par with the nobility, thus forming the Lesser Quorum. Now the representatives of the lowly estate have founded a newspaper of their own, and this Quorum Gazette, distributed all across Anizotti, fervently argues for commoners' rights in the provincial governance. The man behind the newspaper is Mayor Egmont, a well-off industrialist and owner of several silver mines, and it was his article and his demands that brought about this litigation. You take out a newspaper and read Egmont's article printed within. It addresses Imperial Overseer Gaius Tempus directly. We demand that Sir Overseer Gaius Tempus cease his habitual disregard for our meetings. From our Emperor Uther II we received the lawful right to assemble and sit in the Lesser Quorum, and we say to the Overseer our voice must be heard. Our message must be accepted. The carriage stops in a square by a luxurious building. This is the City Hall where Imperial officials manage all domestic and economic matters of Anizotti. You're escorted up a long winding staircase to the doors of the magistrate's office. Now you stand before Remy El Borne. The magistrate maintains a haughty bearing in spite of his venerable age. His face bears the sharp, proud features so common among the old aristocracy. Ah yes, Sir Judge. You are from the Brante family, I believe. I appreciate your prompt arrival. Rather not waste your time, get right down to business. The matter for which I called you here is urgent indeed. You're judging a case against that newspaper by the Lesser Quorum, are you not? I've had a torrent of complaints against it from the most venerable members of the Quorum. They say Mayor Egmont has insulted Gaius Tempus, our overseer, and an Archnean from the Emperor's own great dynasty. And I say they're absolutely right. The Empire gave those uppity commoners a hand in managing the province's very well-being, which is already a violation of their lowly lot. But no, that wasn't enough for them, it seems. You've earned the mantle only recently, Sir Brante, but you must realize that this is an affront to the honor of the entire nobility. I expect you to do your duty as a judge and immediately find a pretext for shutting down their pathetic gazette. El Borne, your prefect, might think otherwise. However, Sir Brante, if you exercise enough wisdom and cunning, I'm certain you will realize which position is most beneficial for you. With your youth and potential, it'll do you good to have powerful friends on your side. Sure, you will reach the only appropriate and just verdict when closing this case, and I hope this will be duly judicious. For now, farewell. You return to the prefecture lost in thought. Sir El Borne is right, your word is all it will take to shut the Lesser Quorum newspaper down. As a judge and a nobleman, you do not need a reason. The people running the Gazette are mere commoners, no matter how wealthy they might be. There was no breach of law, however. Mayor Egmont's article simply requested that the Overseer of Magra hear what the Lesser Quorum is to say. You can reject the nobility's complaints and thus show the commoners they may rely on the prefect's justice, but Sir El Borne and many fellow judges will be outraged. Father learns that the case has been assigned to you. Haha, he's gonna be happy about that. He visits you and offers some advice. You're in quite a predicament now, son. If you try to appease one party, the other will be furious. Wouldn't you rather see it there's any way to make peace between them? We could host a party at our estate and invite both Mayor Egmont and the noble elders from the Quorum. If you are successful at defusing their quarrel, no one would object if you decide to legitimatize the Quorum Gazette. Even El Borne won't be against it if the nobles stop complaining. However, Father is not your only visitor of that evening. Shortly after the door closes behind him, the familiar face of Judge Carlo Fockegraben appears in your office. He looks around cautiously before speaking his mind. I hear you've been ordered to deal with that newspaper run by wealthy commoners. It's a complicated case indeed, if you ask me. Work like that deserves to be rewarded. Why not make the most of it? You're quite close with Prefect El Borne, are you not? Almost related, as it were. What if you were to shut down the paper and seize their printing press? All it would take is Sir Prefect's signature. My friends among the quorum's nobles, why, they could use a gazette of their own. I'd be delighted to help you put that printing press in good hands. Just think of it. You would shut down a subversive periodical and help our esteemed nobles spread their message, all while earning a lucrative reward for your efforts. It's quite a coup, really. Everyone wins. Do think on it, Brante. Man, you are a shady guy, Carlo. Carlo leaves and you're left alone in your office to deliberate. If you decide to shut down the Gazette, how far should you go? If you choose to legitimize the periodical, how will you go about it? So, if we shut down the Gazette, career goes up, justice goes down, so we're at 5-5. If we don't shut down the Gazette, career goes down, justice goes up. If we legitimize the Gazette, then we become the protector of the people. Career goes up, justice goes up. Oh wow. Wealth of the family goes down, and willpower goes down. And seizing the printing press is not available because I don't have enough scheming. So this is my father's proposal, hosting the party to help Egmont and the Quorum nobles make peace. This allows you to legitimize the Quorum Gazette. Yeah. I think this makes the most sense, actually. Specifically because it improves my career and justice. So it does give our family a little bit of a ding in the wealth department, but you know. You spend several days scheduling audiences, exchanging greetings and presenting invitations to the senior nobles of Enizotti. You have to pull all the strings you have and muster all your knowledge of Enizotti high society. To say nothing of the family funds you spend throwing a suitable party for such esteemed guests. After much effort, both the nobles and the commoners from the lesser quorum have gathered together at your family estate at last. Mayor Egmont, owner of the Quorum Gazette, has accepted your invitation as well. The nobles are clearly vexed at having to tolerate the commoners' presence, yet they maintain the decorum etiquette demands. You tactfully take advantage of the situation to begin a negotiation. You inform the esteemed gathering that you are the judge handling the case of the Quorum Gazette. In your opinion, the periodical for their legislator is a most useful initiative. But only if the entirety of the lesser quorum shows support for the Quorum Gazette, and only if the Gazette represents the opinions of all its members, including commoners and nobles alike. Your words are met with a flurry of resentful, shouting, disputing voices. People start to argue. Sometime later, the Gazette owner, Mayor Egmont, takes his turn to speak. He looks almost like a nobleman. Egmont is well-groomed and wears expensive clothing only a wealthy industrialist could afford. Nevertheless, his rough manner of speaking and boorish posture betrays his humble origins. I do say there's some truth in what you're saying, Sir Brante. We did begin the Gazette without asking the noble sirs for their opinion. Still, if they let us have our articles printed, I suppose I'll agree to publish their opinions as well. This leads to another fervent debate. Some nobles reject sharing a periodical with the lowborn, while the more obstinate commoners of the quorum insist they already have the right to publish the Gazette on their own. It takes you no small amount of time and negotiation to bring both sides to an agreement. It's settled then. As the owner of the Quorum Gazette, I pronounce it the official and illegitimate newsletter of the Lesser Quorum, and the noble sirs are invited to publish their articles on the state of affairs in our province. Industrialists and merchants surround you and shower you with praise as a skillful negotiator. Tonight you defended more than the newspaper, you stood up for the entire common estate of the province. Father keeps his distance for most of the party, but once matters are settled, he pats you on the shoulder. Excellent work, son. You chose the path of justice while staying on the good side with the powerful nobility. Even Magister El Borne won't hold this against you. Your career at the prefecture will surely flourish. Let's just hope your notoriety as a protector of the common folk won't harm you in the future. The night is over. One by one the esteemed guests leave the Brante estate. A family home you know so well. You never thought the affairs of the entire province would one day decide within these families' walls. Okay, so we're still a judge. It would be nice to become a future prefect. I don't necessarily want to be the tyranny of the nobles though, but future prefect would be nice. And commoners are protected, that is fine too. They don't need to seize power either, because, you know, I worked really hard for my noble title, I'd like to keep it, but this is fine. Commoners are protected. We're still moderate here. Not sure. Probably gonna ask Milanidas to send us more jewels. Maybe we can ask Octavia for some jewels. Today is a big day for the Brante family. The day your family line started, the day when you remember all your ancestors, the night everyone who bears the name Brante must descend into the family crypt to keep vigil by the tombs. This is the time to surrender yourself to your ancestors and hear their will. Oh man, my grandfather is gonna bust my ass again. Or bust my balls. I think that's the saying. The entire family prepares for the event in silence. Stephan has been choosing his apparel since morning, praying anxiously under his breath all the while. The heir has a special place in the family vigil. Even Mother is planning to go with you, though Father tries to talk her out of it. Lydia, I beg of you, stay home. You're far too weak for an all-night vigil in the crypt. Gloria, would you be so kind as to stay with your mother, since you cannot join us anyway? Gloria answered in a muffled voice. As you wish, Sir Robert. The late Sir Gregor would only be enraged to see Mother there. We all remember how their last encounter ended. Father nods curtly, avoiding Gloria's gaze, but at that moment your attention is drawn to a noise in the foyer. Nathan staggers through the door, stumbling over his own feet. He reeks of cheap wine and filth. Oh man. I'm not late, am I? Everyone gazes at him in consternation. Nathan almost falls into Mother's and Gloria's arms. Distressed, they fuss over him. Stephan eyes his youngest brother coldly. Expected nothing more of you, Nathan. Why even speak of duty to your family when you can't even manage to live by the commoner's lot? Go lie down in the pantry and stay out of her sight. Father Randolph, it's time, let's go. Alongside Father and Stephan, you descend into the family crypt. You cannot help but remember paying your last respects to your grandfather 9 years ago. You light the lamps, dim, eerie flames illuminate the shrine. In the middle of it stands a magnificent stone tomb, containing the long decayed remains of Gregor Brante. You take your place around the crypt and kneel. The all-night vigil has begun. At first your ancestors remain silent. Each of you is left with their own thoughts. Then a low murmur passes around you, the shadows in the corners of the room deepen. The voices grow stronger. You know that the ancestors of Sir Gregor Brante, long forgotten commoners whom you never knew, are trying to talk to you. Now a memory of them has come to life in the darkness of the crypt. They are pleading for something, demanding out of you, calling out to you, screaming. Finally, you all hear that painfully familiar, deep, imperious voice echo from the far end of the chamber. Been a long time since I've seen you all. I hope you bear good tidings. All this time I've been waiting for you to fulfill my mission. Remember, as long as I am in your blood, I will give you no peace. I did not have my family ennobled just to see our line cut short. Our blood tide must join the grand flow of the empire, and then each of my descendants will inherit nobility forever and ever. But I do not see any of you before my tomb. Where are you hiding? Where is the head of our family, the man who will speak to me? Where is the man who will heed my will? Father rises from his knees and makes his way towards grandfather's stone tomb, the source of that booming voice, but Stephan suddenly pushes him out of the way. Father takes an indignant step forward, but Stephan firmly bars the way. Stop it, Stephan, you are my heir. You're not the head of this family. Father, it is not you that Sir Gregor is addressing. Earning the nobility of the sword is my duty to him. He has long forsaken any hope of seeing you achieve it. You must understand that I am the one who will fulfill that duty. Stephan does not let him pass. Father breathes heavily in anger. You can all but feel the frantic beating of both their hearts resonating somewhere within you. Both your father and brother seem to have forgotten that you are here too. Even the restless voices of your ancestors have grown hushed, waiting for the outcome of this confrontation. Oh man. Man, they want my family ruined. What's up, storytellers? If I side with Father, there is more unity in the family. Willpower takes a beating, that's fine. Relationships are up and down as you would expect. If I support Stephan, yeah, that's not very likely. He likes me more, yeah, sure. I gain willpower, we lose unity, and I gain some diplomacy. And if I step forward myself, I lose some willpower and I gain valor. I don't really need that, to be honest, because, you know, my valor is already 20. Is it worth losing, like, all these relationships? Like, there's no point in gaining relationships with a dead grandfather, right? That makes no sense. It does unlock something special, but I think maybe it's a good time to work on the unity of the family here. You block Stephan's way. Your ponderous voice fills the dark crypt. You demand that your brother step back. The head of your family is your father, Robert Brante. And so it will be as long as he lives. Could your brother have forgotten that he is part of the noble lot to acknowledge and honor seniority? Your father is the man who must hear and accept your ancestors' will. Stephan tries to maintain his composure, but even in the dark you can see his face twitch. Brother, you don't understand. I'm not defying father's seniority, but I am the man who bears this duty to our grandfather. I cannot remain a mere witness while the future of our blood tide runs through our fingers. You resolutely push your brother to one side. Whether he wants to or not, he will give way to the head of the family. Father catches his breath and approaches grandfather's tomb. So it's you, Robert. Have you come to disappoint me yet again? Stephan is right. I have not put my hopes in you for quite some time. If anyone will lead the Brante family to glory, it will be my grandson. Stephan clenches his fists and whispers something to himself. I'm doing my utmost, father. We are closer to becoming nobles of the sword than ever before. The overseer looks upon us with favor. Just a couple more years and your dream will come true. This must be your dream too, Robert. You still cater to your foundlings, Lydia and Gloria, risking a permanent blemish upon the Brante name, my name. Dead though I may be, my will lives on. Heed it at least, get rid of that trollop Gloria and devote yourself to your true family. Otherwise you will lead our family to shame and ruin. Well, grandfather, I think I will do that. The shame and ruin part. Father hesitates for a moment. No, father, this is impossible. Even if I must defy your will, I'm responsible for Gloria. My honor and my conscience will not allow me to do what you demand. You must accept this, or keep on fighting me for all eternity. The voice of your deceased ancestor fades away. He seems to have left this realm, but then his voice suddenly booms from the other side of the crypt. Stephan, you are the heir of this family. Your duty by blood is to earn us a place in eternity. Do not take after your spineless father. Do what must be done. Cleanse our family of wickedness. Stephan is shivering. He replies in an unsteady voice. But, Gloria, I can't. Stephan checks himself. I will do my duty to my family, Sir Gregor, whatever the price. I will pay it. The crypt is completely silent once more. You're alone again. You see tears glistening on Stephan's face. Without uttering a word, he goes outside. Father clasps his arms firmly around you. You feel him let out a sigh of sorrow and relief. The vigil is over. Man, if he goes after my sister, I need to choose between Stephan and Gloria. Ouch, that is gonna destroy the family. And possibly the heir of the family. It is my ticket to becoming the heir though. So, hey! What, I can't be ambitious? Let me know in the comments if I need to be ambitious here. Alright, another year has passed, so I'm gonna put a cut in the episode here. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're enjoying the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.